Hello, Fit Pro podcast listeners. Thank you for joining me for another great show. Today, I have the great privilege of interviewing Mr. Elliot Drake. I met Elliot this weekend at a Mark Lack workshop, and the information and knowledge that he is going to provide. He's from Blitz Metrics, and it's marketing, Facebook, branding. He's going to drop some real knowledge bombs on you guys and give you guys an idea of what's working in marketing in regards to Facebook and branding yourself and your business. So welcome to the show, Elliot.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Hey, that was a very brief intro. Would you mind telling the audience a little bit more about your story and how you got to where you are now and working with Blitz Metrics and what you're up to?
Yeah, so I'm 19 years old. I started working with Blitz about a year and a half ago. And coming into first working with Blitz, I knew nothing about advertising. Basically knew nothing about advertising. And so Blitz is based on a mentorship model. So we empower young adults and basically take them from not knowing anything about digital marketing and train them up to be able to work on clients like the Golden State Warriors, Ashley Furniture, some of these really big name brands, which is pretty powerful. And so that's how I got introduced to it. I signed up for Blitz and then I got qualified, and then I ended up moving out to Arizona from where I'm originally from in Indiana. And I actually live with Dennis and Logan now. So, I mean, just imagine the amount of like mentorship and everything that I get for just being able to live with those guys. They're pretty amazing. And, you know, they're super intelligent in the world of marketing. So I'm blessed to be able to be, around them on a daily basis. So now what I do is I've worked my way up to be able to be the director of personal branding. So what that means is I'm in charge of all of the different personal brands that our company has. So I help people build and monetize their brands, and then I manage a team of a mix between lower specialists that are coming through our system, and then virtual assistants from the Philippines. That's basically my role. And if we kind of want to go a little bit deeper into my story, I grew up, and my dad passed away. He committed suicide about a year ago, and it was from a long battle of drug addiction. And so I had to grow up in a home where I had to deal with that on a daily basis. And so it damages a lot of people. A lot of people have that in their household. And my mission for like being successful and, trying to make an impact, my impact is in trying to be in the lives of other kids and other people that come from that situation to realize that, it doesn't matter where you come from. It only matters where you're going. Right. Because this is a crazy statistic. 70% of kids that come from a household of drug addicts, they become drug addicts themselves, which that's super sad. And so my mission is to be able to make a dent and lower that percentage in my lifetime.
Awesome. Your story is, one that a lot of people can relate to, and you've really obviously chosen to rise above that. And you've gotten yourself around positive mentors. And you've also gone from basically, maybe not knowing much about marketing to now being, in this for a year. I would consider you an expert in regards to marketing. And we're looking at a 12-month time span.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing that allowed me to grow is, for one, being able to live with Dennis and Logan and be there on a daily basis. And it's one thing to take like an advertising course and, be able to like kind of do stuff here and there. But whenever you get thrown into like, big clients and actually are doing the work, and then you have that like mentorship base that's like showing you right from wrong and everything, that's how you're really able to learn and, perfect your craft. So I think I credit that to, my abilities in such a short time frame.
We were chatting, when we started the interview, and I was kind of telling you, like, there's been several times in my life where I've kind of like felt like I'm learning things like from the very beginning. One would be an example of, playing basketball and getting coaching at a higher level and realizing like, wow, like I didn't know as much as I thought I knew. And the same is true when I went on to play college baseball. I went from high school athletics to college baseball, and I felt like I was learning the sport all over again. And I kind of had that same experience this weekend, meeting you guys and hearing your guys' teachings in regards to marketing and Facebook. I've been in the fitness business industry for 12 years. I thought I had a pretty good grasp on marketing and driving in leads. And then, being introduced to you guys, I kind of feel like I learned marketing like all over again. It just completely makes sense. Can you talk to the audience about maybe some of the mistakes fitness business owners are making in their businesses, and where they should be going in regards to their marketing?
Yeah, so video is super key. So for businesses, if you guys are trying to drive people into your store, if you're trying to see success on Facebook, video is a must. They say that a picture tells 1,000 words, but video tells 1,000,000 words. But in regards to targeting and like more of like the statistics standpoint of why video is so important is because we're able to create remarketing audiences off of videos on Facebook. And so marketing is about a really good marketer is able to hit people on multiple different touches, because most
Right.
people see something. If you're just running like a conversion ad, hey, come into my store, and the people don't know you, like you, or trust you, then those conversion rates are gonna suck, and then you're gonna be like, hey, Facebook marketing doesn't work. But no, it's really you don't have a proper strategy in place. And one strategy that businesses, fitness owners can use is a 3x3 video grid. And so a 3x3 video grid is having 3 why videos, which is your awareness stage. And so that's broken down into just telling your why and your mission as your business owner. Why is your gym way better? Maybe you're the owner of the business and you just tell like, hey, the story about how when you were younger, your dad had a little fitness store. Your dad had a fitness gym and it closed down and it like broke his heart or whatever. And so it's through this that you wanted to have like a successful gym, it's about telling stories and being real and authentic. And then you make 3 of those different types of videos that just is boosted to a saved audience, which is made up of your demographics, which is like your age, your behaviors, and interest targeting. So behaviors is based off of like actions that they take. And then interest is like things that they're typically interested in, what they're searching for. And so you are you target those type of people, and then you make 3 how videos. So 3 how videos is more like educational, giving free value in exchange for something like an email address, or they, opt into your chat bot or something of that nature. And so those are, 3 videos as well, keeping them under a minute. That's one thing I didn't mention first. Those need to be under a minute because the average watch time on Facebook is only 6 seconds, and most people are on mobile. So it's really important that you just get your message. You just get your message out there up front. So because of those average watch times, and you have to respect people on the go. And so then you make 3 what videos, which those are your conversion ads. There's like, hey, come in my store, try out my gym for 3 days for a free guest pass. And all those should be custom audiences, which custom audiences are your remarketing. So, and we do that through video views. So people who have watched 10 seconds or more of our why, and then we show them our how videos. So you know what I mean? So it's about hitting them on multiple touches. We go from like, if you think of it as a funnel, we start by hitting cold people, allowing them to see who we are. And then we do 10-second views because we can gauge that they stuck around for 10 seconds. So they're interested. We show them our how videos. And so we either might even collect an email address from that, but we already have those video views. So people who have watched video 1, video 2, and then we show them a conversion. Now we're asking them for something. Like, on a first date, would you ask somebody to like, if you just randomly go up to somebody and you just ask them like, come on with you, that's just weird, right? You know what I mean? So it's about building a relationship with that person before asking them to actually do something.
Right. So it's a systematized step-by-step process that you guys teach and people to do, starting with the 3 why videos. And that's basically telling your story and getting people to know you, right?
Yep. Getting them to know you. So if you want to break it down from awareness, engagement, to conversion, that also goes down to know you, like you, and trust you. And then why, how, what, they all kind of correlate.
And then, so you have your 3 why videos, and then you have your 3 how videos. And then from there, then you're going to lead them to some sort of conversion page or asking them for their information.
Yeah. Where you're asking them to like, hey, come into my gym and try something. And so those, you can have multiple different on the back end, different kinds of audiences that you can run that conversion to based on all those other videos. So you can run a conversion video view audience of people who have watched all of your first videos, and show that to them. Or like in the house stage, if they opted into your chat bot, you could run ads to those people.
Right.
You could either, run ads to your email list, people who opted in for like maybe a free ebook or something. Then, you know what I mean? At your conversion stage, you're retargeting people who have already seen you. You're not just showing people that are cold, that have never seen your videos stuff. So that's how you structure that.
Right. Because in the past, like, when I've been running ads on Facebook for a long time, all of them are ads that are like driving them to a link, or to some sort of opt-in form, or to request a consultation. None of them, all of the content, because I do put out a lot of content, was just on my page, wasn't boosted, was just free. And so learning this technique, I've really switched to just boosting my content. And again, that's to get people to know me, and not sending them to a opt-in page, not sending them to request information. And I've done this entire month, just boosting video content, and I've generated tons of leads. And I think that's just by creating, creating conversation with people and educating them, getting them to again know me, because they have to be able to know me before they're going to like me, and then also before they're going to want to give me money, which is they're going to give me their trust. So, what do you why do you think that? And I don't know if this is just in my industry or multiple industries, that we're taught just to send people to a conversion page.
I just think it comes back to a competency issue. I just think that people don't really understand how marketing works, and they just haven't learned it. So they just think like they just go and boost to these people and they automatically get sales. They just don't understand. They just don't understand the idea of hitting people on multiple touches and building that relationship. Most people understand, how you build a relationship in person, but they don't realize that it goes the same way online when you're running ads,
Right.
And another thing that I think people do wrong is they spend all this time worrying about, I need to pay all this money for these professional videos and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's fine, right? I mean, I know like if say you're a big brand, you're corporate and stuff, like you have to have that image and everything, but just for that person with just, that little gym or whatever, all you got to do, you have your iPhone. If you have an iPhone 8 Plus or a 10, it shoots in 4K. Just make a 1-minute video telling your story. And these actually we see perform better because they're more real and authentic. People don't like to see ads. Like I don't like to see ads.
Yeah.
I really don't. And so most people don't. And so when it's an ad of just your face and it just is like a real authentic story, it doesn't feel like an ad. And then they get to know you, And I think a lot of people also are afraid to kind of be, open and tell vulnerable stories, which I think is so powerful and people should get over. Like for me, for instance, I tell my story publicly about like my father and all this stuff. It's for one, it's that hope that, another person who's going through what I went through will see that and be like, wow, I'm okay. Elliot did it. Right. But also in a more strategical level, it's a way that people can feel like they can connect with me on, in their heart in an intimate level. I could just come out, yeah, I'm Elliot Drake, and I'm amazing at Facebook ads. I'm probably one of the best. I'm like something like that. People wouldn't connect with me if I'm like, hey, I'm 19 years old. I run ads for, Ed Milet and some really big brands. I had some hardships. My dad passed away, committed suicide, all this stuff. And like, wow, like he's doing some really good things. And I like this kid. I'm going to follow him.
Right.
And then, I hit him with all those multiple touches. And then when I come out with my course, people are like, wow, I trust this kid. I want to buy his course. Or, I want to schedule a power hour with Elliot. And, see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Absolutely. So I think one of the things I've really learned over this last month is just being authentic. Being your authentic self, showing up as yourself in your business, in your online profile, through your videos. And I think a lot of personal trainers or fitness people kind of hide behind their fitness. And like maybe, made up photos on Instagram of them looking good, but they don't actually ever really dive into telling their story on why fitness is important to them or why they got into fitness in the first place. And that's ultimately what's going to attract your target market to you, is by telling your story.
It really is. And, that's why people like those ads where it's like before and after, even though they're ridiculous, like they attract people, right? They want to know the they want to know the journey, like how they got there, how, how did you get into fitness? Why did you get in this space? Where did you start and what did it take to really get there? And how much hard work did it take to be able to bench like 350 pounds, from like starting from nothing? Like people just want to hear those stories and they want to feel like they know you. And when they do, that's when they're open their pockets and give you their money.
Right. And another thing, I was relating the retargeting and the remarketing to people that have already know you or watched your video, or the Facebook pixels as well, of when they go to your website and being able to remarket to those people. One of the ways I was relating that to myself, I was like, wow, that just makes complete sense. Like it's like somebody calling the studio or calling the gym and you not being there to answer, but they don't leave a message. And so you have no way of following back up with them, and you're losing business. That's somebody that's expressed interest in doing business with you and you have no way of following up. It's the same thing online. So if somebody watches your video, obviously they took the time to watch more than 10 seconds or however long they watched. Of course, you want to reach back out to that person because they are showing interest in what it is that you're providing. Or same with the remarketing pixels. Like obviously they've come to your website, they've clicked on maybe a link and then backed out, and you should be able to remarket to those people because they've raised their hand and showed some interest. But if you don't have these steps in place, then you're losing business, and it's gonna decrease the amount of money you have that you can make.
100%, 100%. And that's one of the most common things that people, even up to like big enterprise brands, is they don't have their tracking in place. Like it's almost like when you're marketing, if you don't have your Facebook pixel and your AdWords, your marketing and your Google Analytics and all that, it's like you have like binoculars on, like not even binoculars, like eye patches on, Like,
right. And I think even, from a business owner's perspective who does a lot of the things myself, like there's a lot that I do well, but there's a lot of things that I don't do well. And I think, some of this language on like Facebook bots and like remarketing pixels and then the retargeting on 10-second ads, like can get a little overwhelming, for somebody that isn't very familiar with that kind of stuff. And I think sometimes we just are afraid to do things that we're unsure of or to reach out, because I know in our industry, there's a lot of businesses out there that say they're going to, help you with your marketing and end up really just charging you a lot of money, but not getting you the results that you pay for. What's your take on that in regards to other businesses or personal trainers who may be afraid to reach out to, a business in regards to helping them, with that marketing and tackle some of those issues that we talked about as far as remarketing and things like that?
Yeah, so there's a lot of fluff in this space. There's a lot of people that don't really know what they're doing and try to charge a lot of money for stuff. So I think it just comes down to, if the business owner doesn't want to learn how to do it on their own, which we live in a world where information is abundant and it's all out there on YouTube and everything. But some people just don't have the time. They want to stick to what they're good at, and that's growing the business. But they would just rather pay somebody. So I think they just have to do their due diligence and try to find someone who's real and authentic and really knows what they're doing. That's why, Blitz, we try to publish most of our stuff publicly. Yeah. We don't charge even that much money for courses like a lot of people. It's, because we generally want to help businesses and people be able to, either do it themselves or like have us do it, I would say honestly, if you're just a business and you can't really afford to pay somebody to do it, I would just go on YouTube and look up, hey, how to install your Facebook pixel, how to install your Google Analytics pixel. Yeah. And, just watch some videos on YouTube, because it gets more complicated. It really depends on the client, but for just a normal business that's trying to get leads in the store, that, all you really need is just a pixel on your website, see your Google Analytics, to be able to retarget to them via Facebook and try to get people in the store.
Right. And that way you're not losing money when somebody is, again, raising their hand or coming to your website. You can actually follow back up with them via automated systems that are already in place on your website.
Chatbots are huge. Chatbots are huge for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're super huge because you're able to automate the customer service. Like it gets I could talk all day about chatbots.
Yeah, you chatted about that at the workshop, and I was also, again, another thing I was blown away by, just the automation options that you have with the chatbots. Pretty amazing. What was the name of the chatbot that you guys recommend?
Mobile Monkey.
Mobile Monkey. And I will put a link to that in the show notes.
Perfect.
Yeah, basically Elliot broke down how chatbots, can automate all of your auto responses either via your website. If somebody requests a consultation via your website, types in, say, consultation, then the Facebook bot will automatically message them back the information that they requested, and it can recognize specific terms to give alternate responses. Plus, on top of that, unlike email marketing, there's no opt-in. So they automatically.
Yeah, there is an opt-in, but it's a way easier form. They don't feel
Okay.
they're like giving that email and you're going to spam them, right?
Right.
All they have to do is hit get connected. But then if they want to like unsubscribe, then they just type in unsubscribe and it takes you off the list. But the thing that's so powerful is with email rates, like open rates for email are like 5 to 10%, and they're just continuing to drop.
Yeah.
But open rates for your messenger, those are 70 to 80%. Like think of how powerful that is. And so and you can make it automated. You can make it so smart. Like we were even doing some demonstrations about how like if people type in, a certain thing that's like off complete topic, you can like send little like GIFs and stuff to make it just super interactive and funny, and base it around your brand and stuff. So there's just so much you can do. And, I'm a really big fan of that. And you can set up drip campaigns, which if they opt in, then, I'll send them a bunch of free training. And as you collect it, or say that you have a promo in your store and that you have a list of like 1,000 people and like maybe they all haven't opted in or whatever, then you can just send out a mass chat blast to everybody.
Right. Other thing I thought was really cool too is that you can actually do a Facebook post and in your post say comment yes. Mm-hmm. And if they comment yes in the comment box, then they automatically get a message through Messenger. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it's called a chat guard. No, it's called a comment guard. My bad. Yeah, and so like say that you have a post that you select and this is like an example. You can have like a giveaway for like comment the right answer to this question. Like how much did I forgot the name, never mind. But anyway, say you have like some kind of question, comment the right answer and get a free ebook. And so if they comment the right answer, your chatbot will recognize it and then it'll automatically message them. They obviously opt in and it sends them that free content. So it's just, easy way of information.
Okay. So just to reiterate kind of what we've gone over, because we've gone over a lot and hopefully the audience will be able to absorb how powerful this stuff is. But for starters, for somebody that's wanting to start marketing effectively, you have to start with those 3 why videos, and that's going to get people to know you. Yep. And you recommend those are under a minute, and are those and you want those boosted, correct?
Yeah. So this is another thing I didn't go into. So all of those videos from your why to your how to your what, you want to boost those for $1 a day over 7 days. So this is the minimum amount of budget that you can spend on Facebook. But what it does is it allows you to collect enough data to where you can see if this post is performing well. Because if something isn't performing well in the algorithm, it's either one or two things. It's a bad piece of content to be able to get good results, it has to be a perfect combination between content and targeting. So it has to be relevant to the person you're trying to target. So by spending not a lot of money, you're able to test to see, okay, maybe this isn't the right target. I need to switch this up, see if I can get some better results, right? So instead of just going out and just blowing like, I'm just going to put $10 on this for a day, see what it does, right? That's not even going to work. And then plus Facebook OCPM needs time to be able to, because Facebook will do the work for you. That's what people don't know. If you give it enough time and give it enough conversions, Facebook needs 25 to 50 conversions per day to be able to optimize. And so if you give it that amount of data, then you're able to see what's working. And then so out of those 3 videos, you produce 3 because you want to hope that at least one of those will be a hit.
Right.
95 a post, you're going to kill. Like those are just the statistics.
Yeah. But
ones that are working, if they have like an average watch time of 10, 15, 20 seconds on a 1-minute video, hey, that's a good signal. People are staying around and watching that. Same thing for I'm going pretty deep into this, but
yeah, that's right.
Just looking at all the different metric signs, your positive and negative feedback, all this different stuff to be able to say, okay, this is a winner. Now let's, let this live for a long period of time, which that's the point of evergreen content.
Right.
Evergreen content is not based on a calendar like, hey, it's Christmas, so I'm going to make this promotion for a week and then it's like done, I can't use it. No, we want to create content in a formation of a funnel that can live for, months, 6 months to a year at a time. So then it just continues to convert, because we're setting up remarketing that from the top down, you're still spending money on the top, which generates more buckets, at the different stages of the funnel.
Yeah, absolutely. So over that 7 days, the $1 a day for 7 days, what sort of conversion should the advertiser be looking for? Like as far as views or?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of different metrics that you want to look for. It's about really counterbalancing them, but some basic ones is having your average watch time over 10 seconds. If your average watch time is over 10 seconds, that's a good signal. If whenever you boost a post, there's a little orange bar. And so it's broken out to organic and paid. And so if you have paid against that and you see that your organic is outweighing your paid, that's a good signal, because what that means is that Facebook is recognizing that this is a good piece of content. So even though you're spending money to reach, say, 1,000 people, Facebook, whenever it's doing well, will give you an additional, like essentially free reach, because Facebook just wants to show content to people that want to see it, right? It's made to be a newsletter for people, content that they want to see. So that's one piece. And then the next one is looking at your metrics between your video views and your 10-second views. So a good standards of excellence, like a good metric to look at, is are you getting are 50% of your video views turning to 10-second views? So if you have a 50% ratio there, that's a good signal that you want to let that thing either add more money to it, like maybe $2 a day, $5 a day, whatever your budget looks like. But normally what we do with thousands of our posts is just do $1 a day over like 30 days. And then after those 30 days, then we'll do 180 days. So then we're just letting that post continue to live, right?
Right.
So yeah. And this is another crazy statistic that's going to blow people's minds. Is when it comes to positive engagement versus negative. So positive engagement is a like, comment, or share. And even if someone comments like, you suck or something like that, that's still considered positive. The AI isn't smart enough to be able to recognize that, but that's coming eventually. So like negative feedback is hide post, hide all posts, mark as spam, unfollow, whatever. Those 4 ones. Mm-hmm. So a like in the algorithm is worth 1 point. A comment is worth 6, and a share is worth 13. But this is what's going to blow your mind. One piece of negative feedback, which is one of those 4 things, is minus 100.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's important for you to look at your negative feedback and versus your positive and see, just add those numbers up. If your negative feedback is outweighing your paid, then you're just going to get killed.
Yeah. That post's got to go. So I like also what you talk about, the evergreen content. So once you have these metrics in place and a post is performing, maybe say that's in your why of those 3 why videos, then you back that up for, an extended period of time. And that's a video that is working and converting. From a business owner's perspective, that makes life a lot easier than having to put out content all the time when I know that piece of content's working.
Yep, definitely. It eliminates having to have the stress of I gotta make 5 posts this week. I gotta post every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean that stuff's all great and all, but man, I don't want to do that. I just want to make some fire content that I know is performing well and just let it live. And
it just makes complete sense because for a business owner that's putting out a lot of content, it's another way for you to let that content live on. Not just, put one post and not boost it and then it's gone. This content's going to live on and again, going to stay in front of your market and ultimately drive more business through your doors.
Exactly. And it's a pay to play game. So, I mean, everyone needs to be using advertising and just use $1 a day over 7 days. I mean, everyone has $1.
Right. Absolutely.
I guess not everyone has a dollar. If you're a business and you're on your own fitness studio, I think you have a dollar that you can use to try to improve your business.
Right. And even if doing that $1 a day, say over 10 pieces of content for the year, that's still, in regards to marketing, that should fit in into your marketing budget to drive, awareness to your business.
Yeah.
One of the things I really liked, I kind of touched on, fitness business owners afraid of getting burned. But one of the things I really liked about Blitz Metrics and everything that Dennis and you showed, where you guys are not only you guys are putting all of your content out there for us to absorb for free, but you guys are practicing what you preach on a daily basis through, building other people's brands and showing people exactly how you're doing it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've covered so much in this podcast. Hopefully we've blown some of my listeners' minds. I know you guys blew my mind this weekend, and I'm still kind of trying to really catch up. But how can my audience learn more about you, and how can they connect with you?
Yeah, so my handles on Facebook is Elliot Drake, Elliot, not two T's. Most people put two T's or like one L or whatever. And then Drake, Drake. And then Instagram, same thing, Elliot Drake, but with an underscore. And then Twitter, it's just Elliot Drake _. And then you can find me on the Blitz Metrics page too. I have some videos on there. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Awesome. I'll include those links in the show notes. Any last business golden nugget you'd like to leave the audience with?
I do have something that, like, genuinely, I just think that business owners and everybody could really benefit from. We just released it. It's called the Blitz Nation. And so every week we get on a webinar and we go through different hacks and, tactics. Dennis is on there. We just bring in a bunch of like people who are really like leaders in the space. Since you're a friend and, when we met and everything, I can give away to your audience a sign up. Like, they can sign up for 20% off. Awesome. If they go to teamblitznation.com. Mm-hmm. And then do Adam Rocks in all caps.
Adam Rocks in all caps. And I'll also include that in the show notes as well. Elliot, man, I want to thank you for your time and all the knowledge you dropped on the audience. I appreciate you.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on. Thank you so much.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.